Hi guys, putting here with the game for you of my Tier 8 Premium US Battleship, the Massachusetts. As you can see, I'm divvied up with bongs and static. Now, my captain skills are going to be priority target, preventative maintenance, expert marksman, basics of survivability, manual secondaries, AFT, and concealment. My modules are going to be protect my secondaries, the MCOM 1 and 2, longer shooting secondaries, and more concealment. This build hasn't changed at all, even with the spotting changes. But I do have one question to you guys before you figure out that we are going to try to go to sea. Is I know on my Republic video I just showed the captain skills modules. I'm just curious how many people prefer just that or me going through them individually. It doesn't bother me one way or the other. You know, I'm just going to do me as best I can. But there is one thing in this game that really, it got under my skin at pretty much the start of the game. I cannot stand carriers that tear up with ships higher than them just for AA protection. While AA may be a joke, if you still stick two tier 9s next to each other and a tier A carrier is trying to go at it, not going to fare too well. So I've never been a big fan of that. I really wish they would limit, carriers must be same tier. It sucks if you don't have a tier 8, but for the most part, most people do have the same tiers as the carriers. If they're going to allow it to be different tiers, then force them to go lower tier so they can be punished, so instead of being just outright jerks. Now, of course, with that being said, Bongs left the division abruptly because he was that upset about it. He's like, screw those guys. I'm not playing with jerks like that. No, Bong's actually DCP'd. But, seeing people div up like that kind of makes me want to focus them down. And if that's their goal, then goal accomplished. But I'm not going to fall into the trick of just constantly, what's the word? Tunnel vision on them. But if I see them, I'm going to shoot them. Because we know what the game plan is. But you know what? It's a broadside Bismarck. I'm not going to have too much luck with a broadside St. Louis, especially at range with these lofty shells. And especially considering it's pretty much sitting at max range for me. So it's just a bad target. Even if he was within range, it's not going to take much for him to just avoid these lofty-esque shells. I might as well go in on what's being attacked. Now, as you can see, I instantly got into a kiting position to kite these guys away. I slowed my speed down. But I am going to return in to engage these guys because the DD's not over here. Who knows where the DD is? Now, I do believe Bongs made it into the game in a couple of minutes, but like I said, his game crashed, so the only person I have for any potential help is Static, and Static is going to do Static type like stuff in a carrier, which isn't very much. Joking. But like if I do need support, I have to rely on Static, and I have to hope that he has planes available. That's what it's gonna turn into be. Now I am trying to get closer to the DD to offer AA support, even though there's an Atlanta there, and the Atlanta has unlimited defensive fire. It's still one tier lower. I'm at least equal tier. Now, while I have ATF for my secondaries, I do get the bonus of, well, it still works for my AA. Now, I tried to predict the St. Louis's turn with my shells, and unfortunately, I was just a wee bit short. I also figured he was probably going to cut his speed to do this turn. But once again, I turn out to get into a kiting position because there is an Atlanta behind an island, and the last thing I want to do is really, increase the distance to the Atlanta. If I stay at range, it's going to be a lot harder for him to get all of his shells and then use his rate of fire against me. Now, considering the only thing I can see is St. Louis, as this is kind of starting off as a slow game, he's the only guy in range, and you can just see how easy it is for him to avoid my shells. It really doesn't take much. I'm sure some of it has to do with a little bit poor aim, but these are lofty shells. Now, Bongs pulls the Notzer and runs ground, and I do believe he did that to avoid torpedoes or something. I don't remember why. We really don't question whatever Bongs does, because usually in the long run, it works out. Now, I was trying to get some blind fire shots in there, and I decided against it because I wasn't exactly sure, and it looked like the Atlanta was using behind the island, and there's no need. Save yourself for a better shot. If I would have seen him smoke up, it would have been a little bit better for me. I would have taken the shot if I seen him smoke up. But of course, I see him moving forward. I kind of aim right where he's at-ish because I don't expect him to move. Now, I think if you guys may notice that the Flint, Atlanta, and Belfast are all in the same div. I don't care if people do that. That is cancer div, ha ha ha. But at least they are the same tier. But of course, I want to get rid of those guys as fast as possible. And as you can see, I mean, we're all of 7 minutes into this game, and there still has yet to be a first blood. It just seems everyone's taking their sweet time to get in position. Now, I will try to prioritize a lower health ship or the Belfast. Now, oh look, the Atlanta's a lower health ship, but the Akazuki and maybe somebody else should be able to get him as the Aki finishes off the Atlanta, as the Atlanta gets just a flesh wound. So yay. I can either shoot at the Bismarck or I can wait for the Belfast to come out. Now, my game plan was get into a kiting position and really reverse into the cap. Now, unfortunately, the Belfast is making his turn of death as I just goodbye. They don't call it the turn of death for no reason at all. But I saw the Bismarck pushing in, so really for me to go bow in, it would not be the best situation, especially with the Jean Bart and St. Louis there. And the Atlanta, no, that would be the Flint. The Flint in smoke. I don't want to get close to the Flint. His two div mates are down, which means he has access to 0 radar, but he still has his smoke, and he still has 2 CVs to spot for him. So there's no reason for me to push into him. As you can see, I cut my speed down to a quarter because I'm keeping the Bismarck within my secondaries. And you know what? Bongs is pushing up, so it's not like these guys are going to be able to get into B easily. Bongs is setting up for the kite also, but like if we need to, we can just reverse into the cap as the Bismarck had to turn broadside to Bongs. This isn't the best ideal crossfire Bongs that we have, but at least one of us may have a crossfire on somebody. Now, another thing is, I've always said this a lot. Experience credit is done by percentage of damage. Considering there aren't very many tier 9s in this game, but there are a couple, shooting them will get you bonus EXP because they are technically a higher tier. But like that dev strike on the Belfast, and I don't remember how much percentage wise he has, but I know for a bare minimum I did 50% of him. You know, that's all going to be me. Now, of course, I see the Flint. I want to finish off the Flint because it's going to do a number of things. It's going to help our non-existing DD player as Bongs finishes him off, but it's really going to allow Static a little bit more freedom. Now I have the Jean Bart targeted for my secondaries, and if you did not know, my secondaries, because the ARM manual will not shoot until I actively select somebody. So usually what I do is I will pre-select somebody. Like I had the Bismarck pre-selected and I just started reversing, so as soon as these guns can shoot, they will shoot. I have the Jean Bart pre-selected for my secondaries. So, you know, once these guys are able to shoot, they are going to. Now, Bongs and myself are making the turn to go cap B because, well, we're actually in a pretty good position to go cap B. And even better yet, why not? There's still 2 carriers in the game. Maximize our AA and potentially get this cap. Now, the enemy can still come back. I mean, this game isn't completely out of reach for them. There's really nothing besides the Jean Bart's low health. I don't know if he's got a heal. But, you know, you can see somebody's calling out, finish him before he's done. Before he gets a heal. If he can get a heal off, he can easily kill the Atlanta and take out one of our carriers. So, of course, you know, we've got our guns looking that way because he is a threat to the team and to us potentially getting a victory. Now, if you did not know, the Alabama has one heck of a... It has maybe the second best torpedo belt in the game, and you know, look at this pro elite dodge on this carrier. I literally just didn't push anything, but as you can see, the secondaries are shooting over the island, getting the resets as the secondaries come home and get the close quarters expert. Of course, I cheered because there's one of the what I would deem the jerk squad. I would use harsher terms, but Sneaky's asked me not to be such a harsh person, per se, with my language, so I will oblige him. Now, of course, this poor Enterprise, he has to fly in between both of our AAs, especially our close quarters, and then, of course, we have the Atlanta behind us. Might as well take shots in on the Ibuki because he has 10-kilometer torps, and I kind of tell Bongs, hey, I'm going to go into B static. If you can keep this guy spotted, I will let my Clevelands, that's what I call these secondaries, hammer home the Kagero. Static kindly goes, screw you, I want to get the damage, I want to get the kill on the guy. He's like, you know, I need something here too. And I'm like, well, my secondaries are on the job, buddy. You better hurry up. And it's too late. And of course, Static pulls an Oni the Wicked, which is another one of our favorite streamers. And you can find both of them in the description down below. And he goes, now I know why Oni really hates your goddamn secondary build ships. Now, at this point, I'm just being greedy for experience. And I'm going to jump in on the cap. Now, as you guys can see, I only have 72,000 damage, but I have a dev strike, I have 2 close quarters, I've helped take care of several ships, I have 1 assisted cap, possibly going to get a solo cap, depending if time allows it. Luckily, I get no flood, and of course I see both carriers. And Static, out of the kindness of his heart, because, well, I can't think of any other words. He goes, well, which one do you want me to keep spotted? And I go, I'm sure you can guess which carrier I want you to try to keep spotted. And, I kind of tell Static, I said, listen, I'll try to get this guy low, but if he's giving me broadside and I'm just going to delete him, I'm going to do it. And he's like, you know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm really not cutting my speed, slowing down, because if I cap A, great. If I don't, it's just going to give us a little bit more time to go finish off both of these carriers. Now, of course, I don't understand why both of these CVs are not attacking one ship. I am alone. They should both be attacking me. Bongs has got the Atlanta with him. So both of these guys should have been attacking me, as I managed to get a nice Confederate. Now, I do have the Enterprise targeted for my Clevelands, as I do believe Static comes in and drops some fighters nearby. Maybe, maybe not. Don't know. Don't care, because, you know what? I'm not afraid to take the damage because I've already got the solo cap. And, this guy's not going to be able to bomb me out of existence, especially with the turning and stuff, and he has AP bombs. Now, like I said, who would I rather shoot? The broadside guy or the guy who brought 2 tier 9s? I'm going to choose the guy with 2 tier 9s, and he's also very low health. These guys get unspotted, and I'm like, Static, why? He's like, because I want to get the kills. I go, as soon as they're spotted, the guy's dead. Game's going to be over. You just don't have the time. And he kind of starts laughing. He goes, yeah, but at least you won't get a third secondary kill because these guys aren't spotted encroaching on them. Now, our only Atlanta manages to die to the Enterprise. I don't know why they weren't going after me and not, why they weren't going after me and why they were going after Bongs who had help. So Atlanta is still 2 ships together compared to 1 ship by himself. This guy's extremely low, and of course I'm clicking for my secondaries because I'm like, I want that third secondary kill, Static. But why sit there and wait for Bongs to potentially get the shot and take this guy out? I'm going to shoot. And I do believe these are going to be the final shots of the game as we check out the post-battle results. Now, I hope you guys really did enjoy this replay. I do hope you enjoyed the commentary. And remember, guys, it's not about raw damage numbers all the time. Raw damage numbers are great. Don't get me wrong. It's fantastic to be breaking 150k games all the time. It's not like it happens to me. But you know what? Even the sub 100k games, this is still a solid damage game. You can still get a lot of experience if you choose what to shoot at. Like DDs, we say are worth more because they have less hit points. 10,000 on a DD is worth more than 10,000 on a battleship. It's all about the percentages. It's not just the raw damage number. But when you do combine those two, you can have some epic games and epic scores. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do love the replays you send in. The email for that is in the description down below, which is below our favorite streamers, which is below our new Twitter account. It's not so new anymore. I'm still trying to learn that, guys. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.